Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Good. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Um, I believe I have no stranger in the house. We're very familiar and conversant with each other. So I wouldn't want to take much of your time with so many preambles and formalities. So I'll go straight into the agenda for the night. So looking at funding unlock, right? I'm trying to bring you to a position where you learn and understand how to start up your business, how to run your business in such a manner where funding is not an issue for you, where funding is not going to be a bottleneck for you. And that is the essence of this class. That is why um, we are here tonight to look at how to, start the business, how to grow your business, how to develop your business such that um, you're able to, scale with pride and not worry about um, capital. Because I believe clearly that when talking about business, most people want to talk about capital. Most people want to talk about, um, you know, funding and all. But as important as funding is, there are so many things that precedes funding. There are so many things that are essential for your business growth before we talk about funding for your business. So the first question is, I think before we go ahead, let's just take a quick survey around and ask ourselves, okay, let us talk. Now, what's the biggest business challenge? Let's just ask. All right, let's just take quick questions. Maybe two of you just tell us, okay, what's the biggest business challenge? Let's talk.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I would,
Good evening.
I would say for me, yeah, the funding is part of it, though. Funding is part of it. But as I said, it says funding is not the first thing that you look at in a business. Yeah, but I would say beyond beyond that, I think funding is what I would say it is for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah. Beyond that, beyond
maybe,
what? Specifically mentioned. Beyond what?
he said,
Beyond what?
okay, I said beyond the value proposition, beyond
Okay.
yeah, what you give or what you can offer. Yeah, I
Okay.
would say funding and maybe the right platform, maybe possibly. Yeah, that's what I can say, sir.
Okay. Maybe. Okay. There's a lot of maybes there. All right. No problem. Um, can we have somebody else who wants to share?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, so far for my business, what I've seen that has been a challenge for me is I lack the technical know-how of how to run a business. Honestly,
Okay.
when it comes to um, giving my customers the right kind of service, getting even getting the clients for my business has been a very great challenge. So I think what I lack majorly now is the technical know-how on how to grow a business. That has been a challenge for me.
Okay. Technical know-how on how to. run the business. Okay, beautiful. Right. I love um what we've just talked about. You mentioned technical know-how. I think person also mentioned things like value proposition and all. Right. And I think that's where we're going to start tonight. That's where we're going to start tonight. I don't know if any of you have read my book, before you start that business. Actually, that's our curriculum for this course, right? And okay, just as a bonus, right? Uh, I have an offer for you, um, which is the self master class that um, is going on. I revamped it into, the grand winners master class and playbook, right? It just gives you all the structures, all the ideas on how to assess funding. But then before we get to that, I'll talk much more on that tomorrow, and then I'll also share some things with you on the group, which will be a bonus to that. Before that, very, very importantly, there are crucial things you must understand, and not just understand, deliberately put in place before you even think of starting any business. Because not doing that is just you positioning yourself for failure, right? Not doing those things, understanding those things, and not just even understanding it effectively. I don't know. Thanks, my screen. Yeah, it looks slow. Thanks, my screen. If you can just unmute yourself and let me know. It's not loading yet. Let me know if you can see my screen, please.
No, sir.
No, you cannot, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. It's the network or what. How about now?
No, we can't
No, sir.
see your screen.
You can't see my screen. Okay. A minute, please. I'm coming. I don't know why this is. Pardon me. Where I am, we are battling heavily with network. So this is kind of partially expected, but okay. How about now? You should be able to see my screen now. Just loaded.
No, sir.
No, I'm still not up.
I'm still not up. Oh, okay. How about now?
No.
A minute. Should have stopped presenting right now. Okay. This is chopping our time. Okay, maybe I'll just share the book with you. Um, this is written into our time, which we do not have the luxury of, because the journey is far too light. Okay. Okay, let me just quickly, um, I start with something. Said success is not an accident, right? One thing I have learned in my journey, one I have learned in my journey in life is that success is never an accident, neither is failure, right? Both are a product of deliberate actions, of our action or inaction. They are they are a resultant of something that we do or we do not do intentionally. So if you are conscious, if you are conscious of your life, you can decide what it is you get out of your life. All right. If you are deliberate enough, you can shape the course of your life. And that's one philosophy that has greatly shaped my life, which I want us to start with for tonight, and which I'm building, you know, all of this upon. It is that you are the greatest factor. You are how about now? Show it to my screen now. It's presenting.
No, sir.
You said
No, sir. We can't see it.
you still can't see. Please
Yes.
don't Google me. Okay. I'll work upon it. Okay, so you must just know that there are just two sides to life, right? It's either you are living deliberately or you are living your life passively. One quote that I come up with and has been an anchor for my life in recent time is that if you do not make plan for your life, hmm, become a tool in the hands of those, right? They have a plan for their life. If you not make a plan for your life, right, you become a tool that those who have plan for their life use to achieve their goal. That's just the reality of life, right?
Hmm.
That's reality. So if you live your life based on wishes, what's gonna be is gonna be, um, whatever happens today, whatever goes, you know, the truth is that what you get is also going to be whatever goes, whatever happens. But if you decide to live a very deliberate life, you can decide what. And as a matter of fact, living deliberately is actually true freedom. Knowing what it is you do and what you want to do, what you can do or what you don't do, are actually what true freedom is. And that is the first bedrock any excellence in your life. That's the first bedrock. Either you're failing in business or your success in it. That consciousness, that consciousness of ownership, that consciousness that I'm in charge, I'm in control of this life, of what becomes of it, is the first, right, ingredient or secret, as it were, to either your failure in business or your success in it. Because business is good. And if you're happy about it, right, you're already failing. If you are passive about it, then you already lose. Okay, I believe this should show now. Okay. All right, good. How about now? My screen should have come up.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is up.
All right, good. Sorry. Let me just change the settings to allow. In. Ah. Now, so you must know that deliberate consciousness, that's deliberate effort, right, to making your life meaningful or productive is in your hands. You owns the miracle. You decide what it is you do, right? You decide what it is you do with your life. You decide the results you get out of your life. Okay, even in God, there are so many things God will not do for you. There are so many things God will not do for you. He has given you authority. He has given you the license. He has given you the will to do things. So until you start to live deliberately, right, you've not started living. When you say you want to do business, until you start doing business deliberately, with a deliberate consciousness, with a deliberate result and expectation in mind, then you've not actually started doing business, right? And now today we're going to be looking at two crucial truths in this. First, we'll be looking at the seed within, which is the chapter one. That is what's the core seeds that you must understand for your business excellence. And then today we're going to be looking at also we will like how money works, right? You must understand the principles of money. If you want to attract money for your business, you want to attract, investment, you want to attract whatever it is, you want to earn money, okay? You must understand what are the core principles. And I'm deliberately, right, I know you guys could easily go ahead to read this book, but I'm deliberately sharing also because I found out that even while writing the book, there's a lot I want to write and I'm able to write, and there's a lot I have to say that I'm able to say. So, which is essentially why this class is on, right? And the essence is that this class is also going to be, it's going to be a bedrock. It's going to be a bedrock of excellence for you while you go on in your journey. All right. So the seed within, right? The first thing first in anything is that business starts with you, right? Business starts with you. It starts with who you are. Business starts with your own personality. 80%, in fact, 90% of your business success is highly dependent on who you are. Right? It's highly dependent on the image, on the identity of that business. And that business takes your own personal identity. That's just the reality. Whether you like it or not, the business takes the shape of who you are. So that is why you are the first thing people buy. You are the first thing people perceive when it comes to their business. Right? So, and that is why the first thing I always tell people, the first thing I always ask everyone when you want to go into business is, do you believe in yourself? How confident are you about this thing that you want to do? Right? Do you believe you can do it? Do you believe this is possible? Do you believe, this is something that is achievable? I always see one of the things when times I hear people talk about their business, they talk about what they want to do, they talk about this, they 80% of time talk about money. Now, I do not see the passion in that idea. I do not see the motivation, right? The only motivation they have is just the money. Do they believe that this solution, this business that they are bringing in, this thing that they are starting, is this something that they are so much convinced in it that they are ready to give their all to it? Because if you don't believe in it as a solution, why do you think another person will give their money away to buy that thing as a solution? If you don't believe in it as a way to freedom, as a way to get what people are looking for, then why do you think somebody else is going to do that? All right? To inspire confidence in others, you must first have confidence in yourself. You must first have confidence in your idea. You must first believe in that business that you are trying to build. Right? And this is the first thing. You must come to a point where one of the key things that I don't get is that you must have a self-awareness. Right? You must understand the capacity, the resources, okay, that you are bringing into this business. The idea behind this business. Are you confident about it? Are you confident about it? Does this thing propels you enough? Does it propel you enough to wake you up every morning? Does it propel you enough to want to give your all to it? That is the bedrock of any excellence in business. That is the bedrock of any greatness in business. Your identity, the that you pass through to that business, the identity that you give to that business, the identity that the business carries. what is that identity? What is that image? What is that person? Because it is when you are convinced about it that you'll be able to say you go further in it. But then, what is the core thing that backs or builds this identity for you? It is called vision. It is called vision. You know, I said, see, this is what is the definer of every businesses. So people see a future in that business, while others just see money. People see a life in that business, while others sees just a means to an end. And it is this vision, it is this possibility, it is this belief that decides whether there will be results or not. It is this thing that you are seeing that you're able to sell to others. Because it is, if you don't have a vision, you don't believe it in it yourself, there's no way you'll be able to sell it to any other person. There's no way you'll be able to convince any other person to follow through with it. Right? So this is the first thing. This is the first thing. You must see the end first from the beginning. You must see this business that you're starting. How big can this business get? This business, what is the possibility of this business surviving in the next 5 years? What's the possibility of this business surviving in the next 10 years? What are the factors that will make this business survive in the next 10 years? So this, they must have an action plan. All right? They must have an action plan. What is the future of this business in 1 year time? What's the future of this business in 5 years time? What's the future of this business in 10 years time? Because without this vision, there's no way you can build this business. Without this vision, there's no way that business can get to anywhere. And that leads me to my most important mantra. Right? I said nothing is impossible for a person who has a strong will, the zeal to pursue it, and a good plan. Right? A strong will means you are resilient. You don't easily bend or give up or quit. Right? You have passion, you have zeal. All right? That passion and zeal means that you have an energy. You have something pursuing you. You have something propelling you. Okay? You have something called, I call it, say, the hunger and the anger. The hunger and the anger. Hunger means that there's something you are hungry for. There's something you are longing for that you don't feel at rest until you achieve it. And there's the anger is there's something you are angry at. You are so angry at it that you are not comfortable staying in it. You are so angry at it that you are not at peace remaining in it. That's the anger. Right? And then a good plan is now your strategy, your action guide to getting that results. So these are the core ingredients. These are the core ingredients to building business. So when you are starting up to say you want to start a business, you want to do whatever it is in business and all, then these are the first bedrock that you must have. These are the first bedrock that you must build for yourself. Right? You must be able to see it. You must be able to see where it is you're going. You must be able to be hungry enough for it. You must be able to be angry enough with where you are until you get there. Okay, so these are the core thing. These are the foundation. And for you to get that, that is where the place again of vision comes in. Vision is what refines that future for you. So when you want to start any business, the first question is, where is that business what is the destination of that business? How do you get to that business? And as I close this particular part, the question I want to leave with you, sincerely speaking, the way you go about your business at the moment, the way you structure your business, the way you see your business, if anybody were to come to you, and, or let's say let's have a clone of you now. If you were to now come and buy from yourself, if you were the customer and you want to buy from yourself, do you believe enough in that your business to be able to buy from that business? Do you believe enough to be able to convince yourself to buy from that business? And that leads me to the third that I'm going to talk about on this call before I move entirely away from here. It's called the KLT. I'll talk about that later. I think let me just handle it here now. All right, the KLT. Now, let me talk about business. They are not selling. They are not doing this. They are not doing that. And the question I keep asking is that how many people do you enough? How many people like you enough? How many people trust you enough? Right now, those are the triggers for people to buy. For people to buy, you must bring people to the place of trust. Okay, so I'll just leave that again for the future. Now, the reflection question, right? I ask again: if you were meeting yourself for the first time, how would you perceive your business? How would you perceive your brand? How would you perceive your confidence? If you are the customer, you are looking at yourself now. You are looking at yourself. Do you believe enough to say this business has a future? If you are listening to yourself, the way you are thinking about your business, the way you are thinking about your business, does it excite you? Do you think this business has a future? Do you see the future? Looking at the plan you have for your business now, do you see 1 + 1 equals giving you 2? Do you see 10 + 10 equating to 20? Or you don't even know what 10 + 10 is? Do you actually see a roadmap to excellence? Or is just strictly emotions? Then you need to go back and sit down and review that your business. Right? So you must ask yourself, what changes can you make today to ensure that you leave a positive and a lasting impression on your business? Right? So quickly to the next part, which is another important part that many people, many people have talked about it. We talk about it a lot, but we actually take little to no execution to it. Right? We take little to no execution to it. One of the important things we do so much is that we love to talk about making money. We love to make money. All of us want money. All of us need money. We do a lot of things. But the one thing we don't study, the one thing we don't learn in detail about is actually money. All right? It's actually about money. We don't develop skill. We don't develop financial literacy to want to make money. We can go to school, study whatever course you study for 5 years, but we are not patient enough to learn about money even for 1 year. And that is where I'm going to start from. That business you want to do, that business you are doing, how much knowledge have you gathered about it? What is the tuition fee you paid to acquire knowledge on it? That course you are talking about, that business you are starting, that business you are looking to build, what is the tuition fee you paid on it? Whether you pay in time or you pay in money, how much have you paid? Compare it to the course you study in school. You want to become a doctor, you spend 7 years, right? That's what you spend in time. 7 years. Okay? Now you pay school fees. Let's approximate that you paid minimum 200,000 naira per year. So for 7 years, you pay approximately 1.4 million naira. Okay, let me even equate it with your feeding, your accommodation, all of that. You pay 500,000 per year. For 7 years, that's approximately 3.5 million naira to become a doctor. Right? Now, you also pay the attention. You pay the attention currency. You spend time to attend class. You spend time to attend lectures. You spend discipline, energy. You expend your energy to study, burn night candles. The first question is, on this matter of money that you want to make, how much have you paid to get it? How much have you paid to get it? Close to zero. Almost all of us. We do not pay time to it. Now, I can bet you that some of you have this book. Many of you have not read it or took time to be diligent with it. I am the one who wrote this book and read it more than 10 times over. Taking time to jot, taking time to review, and which is one of the reasons why I even edit this class, because I feel there's so much in this book, right, that I did not talk about. There's so much I want to talk about that I did not talk about. And one of the important of this class is that I'm doing this to also use it to revise this book. It means that in the next future, I'm going to revise this book based on this class. Right? Now, how much? How much? Okay, Mr. Bature, you raise your hand.
Sorry, sir. I wanted to ask if this session is being recorded.
Yes, it is recorded.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay, so now, how much of a tuition are you paying on that? How much? Then let's move on to the next. Now, I know you've heard it. Many people have talked about it. But one big question I ask again is that, why should people give you money? Why should people give you money other than your family and friends? Or the question I should ask is that, why do you give people money? Today, when you wanted to, maybe you ordered a bike or you did anything, why did you pass with your own personal money and give to them? Was it because you liked the person? Was it because the person was nice to you? Was it because the person was good to you? What was the one reason why you gave out money? Or do you have anybody? I just want us to hear and talk about it. Did any one of you give anybody or parted with your money today for any reason? You parted with your own personal money today for any reason? Anyone? All right, Mr. Taiwo. Mr. Taiwo,
Yes,
please
sir.
go ahead. You parted with your money today.
Okay. Sorry. Let me understand the question very well, sir.
Okay. Did you do transfer today, or you gave anybody money or cash?
Yes, I made a transfer. I
You
actually
made a
did a
transfer.
business transfer today. Yes,
You made it. You made a transfer. You transfer money to somebody.
exactly, sir.
Okay. Why did you transfer the money to that person?
Okay, number one, the person has what I need, and the
What?
thing is actually something of value.
Okay. The person has what you need, and the thing is something
Exactly,
of value.
a
Okay.
value to
So
me.
what makes the thing something of value to you?
You said,
What makes that thing something of value to you?
okay, the person. Okay, let me talk about actually sending money to that person. I have every other vendor that I can actually patronize to get that thing. But then the
Okay.
way the person
Now,
render is the
I don't,
person.
I don't want us to complicate it. I don't want it to be very simple. All right. So you
uh,
send money to a vendor. Okay, let us be explicit. What was that thing that you sent the money to the person for?
Okay, I got pepper. I bought pepper from someone.
From someone. So why
Yes, a premium
that
pepper.
pepper?
Hello?
Why did you buy the pepper?
Okay, I bought it because I know it is of good quality.
It is of good quality. Was why you
Yes,
buy the pepper. So what does
exactly.
being of good quality do to you?
Okay, the quality of it, number one, it's good for my health.
Okay.
And also me reselling to, I'm able to resell it to other people because it is of good quality. People can
Beautiful.
also buy it from me.
Beautiful. Now, do you understand now? You see, the actual value here is that that pepper is resellable. The actual value here is that that pepper is something that benefits your health. So why you are buying it is because you'll be able to resell it at a higher value, right? So let's say you buy it for 50,000 naira. You know that if I buy this one, I have other people that also needs this thing. And if I present it to them, they will buy it at maybe 70 naira. If I buy that person, I may not be able to sell it for that price. Do you understand now? Now, your value, why you are buying it is because of the resale value. So that is this. So you're not buying it because you like that person. There may even be somebody else who is selling that pepper that may be your girlfriend, but you are not giving that person the money for it. You are giving this other person the money for that particular pepper. Are we together? Now, many of you probably you boarded an Okada. You have options. You could have checked, right? But because riding an Okada or climbing an Okada is the workload on you, so you pay an Okada guy. Okay, you pay an Okada guy to help you move from where you are to where you are going. Why? Because you want to ease the flow. All right, you want to ease the flow. Now, this is a very simple thing. Money flows to value, right? People are naturally drawn to opportunities where they perceive there is greater value than the cost. So people believe that what they are going to get is much more than what it's going to cost them. They will take it. Now, why do you think many a times, I'm still going to be using that Okada sample. How many of you have done this? You want to take a bike. Let's say you are going from Kubwa to Guarimpa, and then the cab tells you that it's 1,000 naira. And you say, no, I can only 500 naira. And they were arguing it, and that person did not agree. So you let him go. Then you stop on that cab, and you ask the cab, how much? And he said 300 naira. What do you do almost instantly? What do you do? Who is talking?
You up in.
You up in and pay. Why?
Because it's lesser.
Yeah, because it's lesser. Yeah, not just that because it's lesser, but because you believe that you've gotten a very, very good deal. Right? Please meet a maximum my voice is not working. Because you believe that you've got a very, very good deal. You've gotten something, right? You've gotten something of value at a cheaper cost. So it costs you less to get that thing of value. So the same thing, when you want to present your business, you should always do that with the consciousness. You should always do that with the consciousness that people should believe. People should believe that what they are getting is much more than what it costs them. That is how business is done. That is how business is done. Money will always move to anywhere people believe that what they are getting is cheaper, right? Or is much more than whatever is going to cost them to get it. That's the basic principle of life. Money flows to value, right? And this is it. Value justifies payment. Value justifies payment. When people recognize that the benefit outweighs the price, they will pay. They will pay. That's just the basic principle. Like, always pay. Once they know that this thing it outweighs whatever it is that they are going to get, no, they will pay. And we always say that there's no money, there's no money. Truth is this: money is in people's pockets. The money you are looking for is in somebody's hand. Money has not left anywhere. Money has always just been moving from people to people. It's just always been changing hands. Money does not disappear. Money has not gone to hide anywhere. Money has only just stayed accumulatively in some people's hands much more. And all what young boys are just doing is collecting our share, owning much of our share of that particular money that is in the system. Is in another person's hands. The money you are looking for is in somebody's hands. So how will you get it from people's hands? So that these are just the basic principle of money. All right? They are just the basic principle of money that you must understand. You must understand it. So you must understand that your wealth is a reflection of your value. So at the end of the day, what matters is how do people see what you are presenting? How do people see your business? This is why I started with how you see your business first before you look at, because what you don't see as a gold mine, what you don't see, if you don't see your business as a treasure, right? This is why at times when people price me down, I just joke and laugh. Because as far as I'm concerned, whatever I'm giving to you at 1,000 naira or 10,000 naira, I can tell you it's worth 10x it. It's worth 10x it. So if anybody is coming to price me down, I know that that person is automatically not for me. He's not in my audience. I don't give attention to them. Because before I present what I'm presenting, I have done good valuation of that thing. And I know that this thing is worth much more than gold. So you must first believe in it. So now you don't just now get discouraged when people are pricing you down. You now push it further to people that are worthy of it. Right? So you must first believe in it so strongly that you don't feel discouraged or feel insulted by it. And this is not just a blind belief. You have done thorough evaluation of it. Thorough evaluation. That if you were the person, would I buy this thing? Because that is what it is. The passive value. How do you make people believe that this thing is worth their time and money? When people see a coin and then that coin, they believe that that coin is going to give them access to the president. Do you know that they will give everything they have to protect that coin? That's just how it is, right? So you must understand that. Okay? So, okay, now, quickly, we don't talk about value. I want to quickly talk about this word now. Whatever value proposition you are bringing, people pay for. People appreciate value in two major areas. Number one, is either it is solving a pain problem for them, or it is providing a pleasure, a desirable state for them. What do I mean? Is that they are suffering from a particular pain that your solution, your value proposition is helping them to ease, or is helping them to solve, or is providing a desire that they are longing for. Is it that it is sweet? Is it that it is something they enjoy? Is that it is pleasurable? That makes them feel happy and good? Or it is solving a pain, taking away a particular pain for them? So anywhere you want to present any value, whatever it is you are presenting to anybody, right? You are presenting to anybody, it must do two major things. It must do two major things, or one of these two things. Number one, taking away people's pain. Taking away their pain. All right? It must solve a discomfort. It must solve a challenge or an inconvenience that they are trying to escape from. So that your business that you are talking about now, before you even ask anybody to invest in it, whether to partner with you or to buy from you, the first thing first is, what pain is that thing solving? What pain is that thing taking care of? The second one is, you ask yourself, what pleasure is this providing? How desirable is this pleasure? How desirable is this pleasure? Is this something that people really, really long for? If you are selling cold water during rainy season, is this something what people need? No. But if you are selling cold water during dry season, harmattan, is this something people desire? Yes. Okay? Now, you are selling sex harassment products to a reverend father. Is it what a reverend father desire? No. But is it what other natural single men or married men desire? Yes. So you must look at it. What pleasure do they desire? So you are selling pomo, you are advertising just normal wood and paper. That's what people desire. They desire that sweet flavor. They want to see the result. They want to see what they get. Okay? So you must understand that pain and pleasure work hand in hand. So your business must deal with either pain or provide pleasure. So any business you are doing that is not connected to either of the two, my brother, my sister, you're on a very, very long thing. As a matter of fact, you have done full rubbish and successfully wasted your time and resources. All right? You've successfully wasted your time and your resources. So again, I want to quickly just mention, right? You can go ahead and read that in the book. But I want to quickly just mention quickly few industries, few areas where I see that there are huge opportunity and gaps within that industry for solutions to flow, right? There are a lot of pain problems in this particular industry, and there are a lot of pleasure, right, desired in those industries. So this is why we're quickly going to look at those industries. I actually put out about 5 to 7 of them in this book. Okay, I'll just quickly highlight maybe 1 or 2 of them for our perusers quickly. Are we together? If you're together, let me see your thumbs up. Let me see your I5. Let me know that, yeah, we are here together. All right. Okay. I'm not seeing your reactions, though. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, Presley, you raise your hand. Is it a question? Okay, all right.
Sorry, it was thumbs up. I wanted to press.
All right, great. Okay, good. So now, in this current world, right, I wanted to go and learn about SDGs. SDGs. If anybody is going to fund your project or you are going to get any partnership or whatever, your project must align with the SDG goals. The SDG goals is like the world benchmark for reviewing the world problem and the world needs, right? The SDG is the pointer to show us where the world is, okay? What the problem the world is trying to solve, the problem the world is trying to solve, the problem the world is trying to, take care of, and you need to join it and align with it. So go and study quickly on that. But I'm going to just quickly mention crucial areas where funders, all right, quickly have a soft spot for. Number one is technology. Oh, in fact, there's a big gap in technology. Right? Anything you are doing, if you are able to be smart enough to just weave technology into it, you have an edge. Because technology is currently the world leading mark for ease of life. Technology is the world leader, right, for rebuilding the world right now. So anything you do in line with technology, you are having a very, very good advantage. Okay, quickly. After technology, the second industry is food and agriculture. Oh my God. Now, I just picked this from our social study while we were in school. It said 3 basic needs of life. Can anybody mention them? The primary needs of life.
Yeah,
Food,
food, shelter,
clothing, and shelter.
and clothing.
Food, shelter, and clothing. You see, anything you are doing in those 3 industries, you are in money. Why? Because from the beginning of the world, they had been. Currently, they still are. And even after the world, they will still be. Are we together? Right? I take it again. From the beginning of the world, they had been. Currently, they are. Even after now, still. They. So anything you do in this industry, okay, there are a lot of pain, pleasure, desire in that industry. So whatever you do, right, if you find a great solution in that industry, then you have it. Also, currently now, another very important area that is a gold mine is climate change and environmental solutions. Now, because of global warming, degradation, and all of that, I think I remember way back when I was in secondary school, I started reading about global warming. Right? When they were teaching us about ozone layer, I don't know if Baturi remembers when Onche was talking about ozone layer, blah, 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 and all of those things. Started reading about global warming. Okay? And this is primarily where the high interest of climate change, environmental solutions, waste disposal, and all of that, they come in. Any business solution you are bringing in line of looking to save the earth, climate actions, is it renewable energy such as solar, green technology, that is waste management, recycling, sustainable packaging, eco-friendly businesses. These things, there is a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity, funding opportunity, partnership opportunity. The world needs this right now because the world is dying and everyone believes that the world needs saving. So there's a lot of money being pumped into that industry. Okay, those are the big dollars, millions dollars industry. And also, very importantly, the healthcare, right? Good health and well-being. Anything you do, right? This is the world where people are looking to live longer. And people are looking to live longer, watching their heads, looking at how better they can be healthy. So people are getting awareness of this. We have people spending a lot of money, to watch their heads. People spending a lot of money for diabetes cure. People spending a lot of money, for their sexual health. People spending a lot of money for their, and all of that in millions, right? In millions. Now, this is also a very, very high multi-million-dollar industry. So you can see how, another important thing again is that any business you can do that's major in the infusion of agriculture and health, that is eating healthy, oh my God, is a good mine. Is a good mine, right? So financial and is a good nine. So the fifth one, fashion and lifestyle. I've talked about it. Why this is important. Fashion, lifestyle, entertainment. These are the wide industry. Who want to, the beauty industry. People want to be able to, feel alive, feel part. This is a pleasure, a major pleasure industry. Then the education industry. Okay, learning, teaching is an age-long gold mine. Knowledge continues. The pursuit for knowledge remains, right? From inception, people always want to know. So if you know better, you do better. People invest now in knowledge much more, especially in this digital age. In this digital age where information seems to be abound a lot, people want to be sure that they are getting quality knowledge from many places. Okay, so you must learn to harness this. And real estate, I've mentioned it, right? Building the future. Building the future. As population grows, the demand for housing increases. All right. Real estate continue to grow over and over and over because population in the world continue to increase by the day, right? The world is 3 times its population about 20 years ago. So in the next 10 years, what will be the population of the world? Who is going to cater for the shelter of those people in the next 10 years? So strategically, right, positioning yourself for those industries are important. So you can quickly just go ahead and read up on how to validate your ideas, doing the market research and all. Now, let me just quickly mention something around this. Any industry that you are going into, one of the things people talk about when we want to look at marketing and all of that is they ask you, who are your competitor? If you are bringing any business or you are starting any business and quote unquote, you are like the founder, you are the novel person, you are the person in that industry or in that line of business, anywhere you are, my brother, my sister, opt out of it. Out of it. It means people are not interested in it. There's no way you will be the first person, either in history or in past and all of that is in that business. It's not that market is not big enough. And if the market is not big enough, then there's no money enough in that market. One deception people used to give when they want to go into businesses, they say everybody is doing it. It is saturated. Let me tell you sincerely. See that business that you say everybody is doing it, that is the business that money is in it. For the fact that everybody is doing it shows that there's money in it. And let me tell you sincerely, everybody is doing it now. More people will still come and join and do it, and they will make their money. So it's better you go into a business where you know that everybody is doing it, and you enter into that business with a unique proposition, with a unique value that will make you better than other people who are in it, than for you to go and start a business that no one is doing it. Right? You must see the market for that business. You must see the demand for that business. You should never start any business that people do not want. I take it again. You should never start any business, get involved in any business that people do not want, that people are not willing to pay for. Okay? So just go ahead and read up on those and you would get much more value. Okay? Right. Yeah, this is how you validate your ideas, gathering feedbacks, the PES2 analysis, and all of that. So there's so much more in this book. Grab yours and the void. Yeah, that's the word. The void. Okay. Now, reflection question: what recurring problem do you notice around you that nobody seems to be solving? Or you turn it into a business idea? Now, or how will you differentiate your solution from existing competition? So this is the big assignment I'm going to give to you. Look at your business. Look at the business you are doing right now. Is this something that people are already doing, or you are the only one doing it? Right? If there's seems to be nobody involved in that area of your business, in that industry as it were, then I tell you, you are in a very wrong industry. But if you know that, yeah, there are good people there, then the question you should be asking yourself is that, what are you going to do differently that will make people actually desire and want to buy this? All right. The class is supposed to be an hour. I think I've spent a lot of time on this. I will stop here and take questions for tonight before we call it a night. So let me stop here. I'll take questions. Okay. Nathaniel Abiaro, 1. Who else has a question? Okay, so if you have a question, please raise your hand now. I'll just take all questions. Okay. Taiwo. Okay. Are you lowering your hand? Okay. Taiwo. Nathaniel, 1. Taiwo, 2. Who else? Okay, let me take those 2. Okay, Nathaniel, go ahead first.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good
I think
evening.
this will be the first time coming up to this class, and it's really amazing. Trust me, I really appreciate the person that got me the link to be here. So, on a quick one, if I you've really got into some aspects that I'm having some kind of confusion about my business. Let me start from the pleasure and the pain. I'm into palm wine, actually, into the beverage industry. From onset, I look into what people consume mostly. I said the food and the drinks. So I look into the beverage aspect, and I see that people really love what eventually hurts them at the end of the day. They love sugar, and sugar eventually hurts. They love alcohol. It's eventually still hurts. So this is where I felt like we can actually provide a solution in this aspect, where people can actually trust what they consume, not just love it. That very thing can be helpful, not hurt, not harming the body system. So this is why I just feel like, okay, there can be a drink that can actually be a kind of ready-made drink for maybe blood tonic, health purpose, the arts benefits, and all those sorts of things like that. So I start making my research. Then I see that I was even more confused about making use of natural drink. So that was what diverted me into palm wine being a natural drink. So then I moved more closer into getting some kind of values, because palm wine has values. It has vitamin B9, B6, vitamin C, vitamin A. So I feel like let's add some other values for the health purpose. So I got some kind of herbs and leaves and start to make it more powerful for health purpose. So now this is now the issue, because I'm trying to start off this kind of product. Yeah, there are palm wines in shelves in all shopping malls like that, but I'm trying to be very unique with my kind of spicy and health purpose stuff. And we trying to educate the people, and I felt like there is a pain here, but I feel my pain is more like preventive pain. People will not normal. You see, drugs is very helpful, but people don't love drug. It says that they only go to drug because of it's a solution to a problem to them. So, but if I'm telling you that this drug is good, take it for prevention. People might not buy the idea of preventing something. They only go for a solution than prevention. So my drink is more like a prevention actually, because it helps to build and flow blood naturally. Because normal between it is where you know that you can actually see, because there are roots and leaves that are actually very better to your body system than even drugs. According to my research, it is more even better you take natural things than taking synthetic things to your liver, because the liver find it very difficult to digest anything chemical, and the liver loves to digest anything natural. Many don't know all these things. So this is why we're actually coming up to start this kind of natural drink with health purpose. But the fact now that trying to fall into the pain and the pleasure, and how to bring it up, being a new thing, a new way of AD drinking. So that's just where I thought I should just come up and hear from you, please.
Okay. All right. Good. Again, um, the start point is first, um, go to, I'll ask you to go read the book, especially chapter 1 to chapter 3. Now, chapter 3 will help answer your question a bit more. We're going to start on it tomorrow. Okay. But what you have inside actually is more of you should pitch your business more under the pleasure than you solving the pain. See, this is a rule of thumb. Don't ever present your solution until people are already feeling the pain. Never present a solution until there's the pain. Nobody buy paracetamol until there's an headache. So until you see the pain, if people do not see the pain, they don't present your solution to them. That's just the rule of thumb, right? They will not buy it. So the other way you will now go ahead is now whet their appetite for the pleasure, draw their greed, draw their desire, draw their emotion to the pleasure. So don't sell the pain. Don't sell the pain part of it because they don't feel it. They don't. You have to spend a lot educating them that this is just like you are trying to say you are trying to sell drug. Nobody needs to sell paracetamol. We know that paracetamol is the cure to headache. So you cannot sell us that your product is a cure to something. They will ask you for scientific proof. They ask you for a lot of things. But when you tell them that if you drink this thing, you will live long, they will not ask for food. If you drink this thing, you will enjoy your life. You understand now? You will sleep well. Now you're already selling a desire. Now, those that will buy that desire are possibly people who are not able to sleep well. They have a problem. But if you say if you buy this, it will prevent you from not sleeping well. Nobody's going to buy. Do you understand that? So you must be able to balance that. So tomorrow, that's what I'll talk about it, mastering the exchange. You must learn to now master how do you now exchange the value. This your product now has a huge value, right? It solves a huge thing. It solves a huge pleasure. How do I now exchange it? How do I stand enough to be able to convince people to exchange it for their money? So that's where we're going to start from tomorrow, mastering the exchange. So how you're able to exchange that your product for money. Because it's not enough that you have something good, you must give it the visibility that it deserves. And that is actually where the money comes in. It's in the exchange that you actually get money. Value itself is good, but value itself does not convert to money. It is the exchange that converts your money, your value to money. Something must convert so there is a converter. So it's that converter we're going to be looking at tomorrow that converts the value you have to money. But before anything, what we are looking at is that you must understand the value. First, your own personal value. Second, the value of the product before you bring it to the table for conversion. Are we together? So, any other thing?
That's
You
that's
raised that.
that's okay. I love that response. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Taiwo, okay. I guess he's not asking a question. Oh, he has gone off. All right, no problem. I think that will be that for tonight. See you tomorrow, same time. All right, 8 p.m. tomorrow. We'll take it up again and build upon what we have done tonight. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Good night.